Welcome to Ulua. You live, you work, you art.
Hello, friends. How are you? I want to talk today about work, like we did in the previous episode. So I guess we are all about work now. No, not exactly, because this time I want to talk a little bit more about related to work, but it's about a model of thinking and improving in life. It's a Japanese model of seeing things. And it actually applies for every aspect of your life. It could be work, or it could be also for improving in your artistic ways, we could say. So this, maybe you already know it. It's called Shu Ha Ri, and Shu Ha Ri is 3 stages, we could say, model. When you start first, like let's say you want to learn the guitar, for example. You want to learn to play the guitar. And so at first, if you know nothing at all about music or even the instrument, you are you have to start in the most basic level, which would be shu. So that shu is just shutting your mouth and doing whatever your teacher says that you have to do in order to learn how to play, about the notes, about the tones, about everything that has to do with music. So you will follow his or her instructions almost blindly, we could say, because you are in that state where you have to absorb everything that you can related to the instrument, related to music, related to the things that you want to learn. And that is not, even though you are gaining knowledge and you maybe asking some questions to your teacher or to your guru, to your master, about the things that are going on with the learning, you will not have yet the capacity to ask more advanced or mature questions on the subject, because you are just starting and you are you know nothing about it. So you have to follow the wisdom of your teacher, which is called the traditional wisdom of the thing that you want to learn. In this case, the guitar. So in this moment, you are in this shu state, and shu means to protect and to obey. I don't know Japanese, but I know from what I've heard from Japanese people that this is what it means. Maybe I'm wrong, so please correct me in that case. But it means just to follow, again, the teachings of your master, your guru, or the people that are helping you or guiding you in this process of understanding this new activity that you have started. And the next thing, or the next stage, once you know the basics of it, when you have practice maybe a little bit more, it's not like every stage of the process, it's not like, okay, today I go to bed and I'm in the state, and I get up in the morning and I just in the other, because that's a process. You don't know exactly, and the boundaries are like blurry. You won't know until you are in a certain stage, in the next stage maybe, or going up, we could say, to the next stage, when you realize, oh, okay, I already know the basics. It won't be from one day to the other, or because you go to an exam and you are moving into the other stage. That is not exactly how Shu Ha Ri works, because you could, for example, go through an exam and get a good grade even in this Shu state, and say, oh, I'm now in Ha, and maybe you're not yet, right? This could happen. Or maybe you are still understanding the basic, but you are now into the process of moving into the other one. So the next stage is Ha, and this Ha means detach or digress. So you are now moving away from the traditional wisdom, we could say, from the knowledge of your masters and following them, into being able to ask more mature questions, to break some rules, and understanding how things work, like understanding a little bit more of the whole context. If you remember the conversation that we had with that I had with my professor of Qigong, he was telling that approximately what he has seen, and also from his experience, is that you have to follow at least 3 or between 3 and 4 years in order to understand what you are doing with Qigong. So we could say that you cannot move, even though that's Chinese, it's not the same as Japanese, but this model is universal, but I wanted to make the distinction. Again, so if you are, for example, in these Qigong classes at least for 4 years, let's say the ballpark, you will start to move into Ha, right? And this could be different times or time frames for different activities that you are following. So bear that in mind. Okay, so we are now in Ha state, right? In Ha stage, we could say. And now that we are in Ha state, we can detach from the things we have been told, because you have to first know the rules of the things that you're doing in order to break them after, in order to get your own style, or start the way into your own style. And that could take some time. And when you are in this state, the Ha state is like going up the slope of knowledge in this activity that you're doing. You are detaching from the rules. You are starting to see, like, maybe there's a path for you forward in which you can break some rules and get your own style, and you're starting to understand like a little bit more than just the basics. And this also could take different time for different activities, for different persons, from different people. For some it could take 1 year, for others it could take 10. It depends also, as I was saying, on the thing you're doing. And it's like you are in the process of becoming a master, which is the third state or stage, which is called Ri, and it means to leave, to separate. And in spiritual terms, or also in learning, we could say this is the transcendence from already knowing what you're doing and going beyond, finding your style, finding your own thing, knowing when and where and how and why to break the rules in certain opportunities, when not to, and basically being a master yourself. And this is a very really ancient concept, this or model, this Shu Ha Ri. It comes mostly again from the martial arts, like in China it's Qigong, for example, or Tai Chi, or those activities. This is from Japan, that is why it's called this in this way. And I think it's really useful for everything in life. I have used it a lot in my work, in my line of work, in what I do, because, for example, you can start as a facilitator or as a Scrum Master in agility, and then or in any other role in a team, and you can start from being a junior person, or just doing the basics, or just a trainee, somebody that's just going into the work for the first time, and then moving through the stages in order to be like a master, or having more experience and ideas, and knowing how to create things on your own also. And I will, for example, in my case, I started at first in technology as a developer, then I moved into a tester, then I moved into being a leader of a team, And at first I totally sucked at it because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't have the tools in order to do so. And so I started my way into learning more abilities, more skills, and learning, for example, about agility, coaching, how to communicate to people, how to give a seminar, how to train others, how to lead them, um, also how to help them solve problems, and mm, not only help them but train them how to solve the problems themselves, which is another skill, like a teacher and also a coach in some cases when they have certain knowledge. Sometimes if they don't know anything, you just have to be a teacher and say this is done this way, so they are in the Shu state and you are in the Ri state or the Ha state. You have more knowledge than they have, and after that you continue also your path into learning more and more and more and growing and understanding different things. So this is kind of an easy model to start anything that you want to start. You can start, for example, by saying, okay, I know I'm just starting, so I am in this level and I have to know the basics. It's just start for you to have a mental picture of where you are in your path of growth, of becoming a master, if that's what you want. And it could also help you decide if you really want to move forward on the thing that you do. And maybe you say, no, I was just exploring and I want pass through the Shu state. I just want to know the basics, or maybe even less than the basics, and I didn't really like this activity that I started doing, so I will quit doing that and I will start another thing. I will be the apprentice in the other activity. So you will restart this process but in another activity. And I think this could apply to almost everything that you have to learn in life. So I really don't think there's much more to say about this. So I won't take any longer and I will just leave this as a mental model, which is a thing I'm starting right now about different tools, techniques, things that we can talk about, and they're just like a little pills, sometimes they call it, some little capsules of things that you will have on hand if you need them in order to explain to somebody else or for yourself, in order to understand your own way of learning, your own stages of learning, where you are and how to move forward. I hope this is helpful for you, and I really appreciate you being here, and I really wish you the best of luck in your daily work and life and everything, and your art. So see you next time, and bye bye bye.
Stay tuned for Uluwa's next episode.